Hello friends, welcome back. Once the request passes through, it calls the send headers function. This function sends the necessary headers such as content type and other relevant headers. I'll skip that part for now. Next, we have the query post function. This function is crucial because it takes the query variables that we pass and sends them to the WP query class. WP the query is a global variable that holds an object of the WP query class. It uses this query variables to build the query string, after which it calls its query method. Let's dive into the WP query class and its query method. The query method accepts arguments, sets the properties of the WP query object, and then fetches the post based on that query from the database. Afterward, WordPress determines whether the query is for the home page, a single post, a custom post type, a taxonomy archive, or another type of page. In the WP class, the query post function passes the query variable, which are based on the rewrite rules. These query variables are sent to the WP query, which then construct the database query. Let's examine how that works. If I pass WP query here, you will see the query variables being passed, like page, name, and others, which are matched based on the URL structure. In the query variables, you will see the parameters like p equals to 1788 and other variables. WP query uses these parameters to construct the SQL query and fetch data from the database. If the post is found, WordPress displays it on the front end. If not, it sets a 404 error. Using conditional tags like is singular, we can check whether the post is a single post, a custom post type, or something else. The query variables are set based on the rewrite rule and matched accordingly. After the query executes, it runs the 404 method, which checks if the current result is a 404 error. If needed, you can use the pre-handled 404 filter to short-circuit the default header handling. If the request is for a post that doesn't exist, WordPress sets the 404 status. If the post is found, the query returns the correct content. The is404 property is set based on whether the content was found, and WordPress either serves the post or returns a 404 status. For example, if you change the URL or add random number, WordPress will return a 404 because the post doesn't exist. If the post ID matches, however, it fetches the post and displays it. Once WP query executes and returns the query result, it checks whether the request was for a 404 page. If the page corresponds to a valid post, it proceeds, otherwise it sets the 404 status and displays the 404 page template. Additionally, WordPress registers the global query variables and the global post object, typically the first post in the post array. It also sets other request parameters such as author data. This entire flow explains how rewrite rules work. WordPress matches the query variable, uses WP query to fetch data from the database, and displays it on the front end or shows a 404 page if the data is not found. The same concept applies to author archive pages or custom archive pages. Using this process, WordPress constructs the SQL query, checks for posts, and handles 404 errors accordingly. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Jai WordPress!